snow in June. Every year. Big giant cottonwood tree at the bottom of the hill sheds them white puffy seeds that plug up our air conditioner. Alright. Howdy everybody. Them cottonwood. Those things plug up our window units and central air every year. I had to pick a big wad of this stuff out of one of Millie's nostrils the other day. But we're going to go through our cons from the other day. We know we had a couple pieces in there. And seen a little bit of flower gold. So, got some time this afternoon. I'm glad I got down there when I did, because it rained for several days. The creeks are raging. They're probably dropping down a little bit now, but everything's way up. So that deleted any chance of getting back on the water for a while. So we've got some water. We're going to classify it a few times. Go through it a little bit at a time and see what our little crevicing and busting up shell layers and bedrock got us the other day. Like I said, I had to go back to my last prospecting video and you'll watch Millie bounce a nice looking flake out of the RPE sluice, but the riffles caught it. So we're good to go on that. We've seen it. We did a little washback. So like I said, we know we got a few pieces in there. But I'm looking forward to see what we got all together. So let me get a few more things rounded up. Get our bucket up here. We'll probably just classify a little bit at a time and go through it. I'm sort of lacking on pans up here. Most of them must be over the hill. Got that finishing pan, and this one is the only smaller pans I have up here. So I haven't even used that finishing pan much at all. So it is unseasoned. I don't know if that's a thing where you need to season those or not. I've never had one. I've heard lots of people talk about them. I've heard Dylan Miller talk about them. I messed around with it a little bit, but haven't really used it much. But we will be utilizing that baby today. And sorry, I'm a little under the weather. I've dealing with pneumonia this week, so that was the wife's diagnosis anyway, and I tend to take her advice on that stuff because, you know, she sort of does that for a living. So I'm feeling better. Excuse me. I'm gonna go hit the inhaler and take some medicine, and hopefully we'll get through this. Like I said, I apologize ahead of time. I said I'm not feeling super great yet, but feeling way better than I have been. So we'll be back. All right, this is what we ended up with. I mean, there's not a lot of cons there. I anticipate a lot of heavies in there, but we're going to do 1/4 inch kitchen strainer, and then maybe -30. I don't know if I want to delve that deep into it, but we'll figure that out as we go. First thing we do is get that big stuff out of there and go from there. All right, I am going to have to take a pause in video. Neighbors over here, tractor guy and the wife, are out in the yard with the kids, which is awesome. But they're playing music loud, which I sort of enjoy. I love Hank Williams Jr. But I keep recording. I'm gonna get copyrighted on this video. It's happened before. So we will take a break. I've got some classified. What I did was classified 1/4 inch, and then have plus and minus kitchen strainer. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and pan through that stuff. I got probably maybe a third of the material, a couple big scoops in that fold out trowel deal of mine. So let me run that down, and time is appropriate, we'll see what we got and we'll run the rest of it. All right, we are back, and we found the chunker. Funny story, if you didn't watch my prospecting video, I posted a video a while back, torture testing the RPE, just shoveling unclassified material in it. But I'm going to show you a clip, it's probably 5 minutes or so, of me, Millie, the gold sniffing dog, who's over there with Aspen fighting over a deer bone. Ended up being a big flat flake, but it was sitting at the bottom of the header of the sluice. So it slid over the indicators. It was way too big for that. But I noticed it sitting there, and look, when I was editing, it had been there I threw a couple more scoops of material on top of it that washed over the top of it, and then Millie come crashing through the sluice and basically stepped right on it, and it went black, and I had water cranking through there, no, I guess it wasn't running too hard, not on that trip, but we had pretty good flow, and all the riffles were full of little flat pieces of shell. But I trusted the RPE. I wasn't too upset about it because I figured it would catch it, or we'd get it later, if not. So, but yeah, I'll show you that clip, and then we'll get back to this. Okay, we are set up. Back Millie. Her and her rocks. She's as bad as Rain Man is. Both of them have already stomped in the sluice several times. Millie, you're getting ready to go back up to the house. They are getting ready to actually go up the house. Jackson's going to come down here and get them in a little bit. Get up there and get dried off. We got stuff to do later. That's probably going to involve them, so they need to dry off some before they get in vehicles. Might do a little fishing expedition later on. Oh, we shall see. Get out of there. This should be some really good material. I said a lot of it came right off the bedrock, and the rest of it came between busted pieces of shell, and holy shit, are you there? A nuggie. They're probably a flake. But wow. Found one of those there about a month ago on downstream about that size. We'll take it. What do you think about getting 4 or 5 more of them and get Millie? And there it went. So did the RPE catch it? The riffles, do you think? Yeah. That's the reason dogs are going back up the house. You can watch videos from last year of me down here sluicing and that same thing happening. 2 or 3 dogs running through it at one time. Good one. That was not ideal, Mildred, the gold sniffing dog. Yeah, give me the side eye. You know, you ain't supposed to be losing gold like that. What's the matter with you, Millie? The hell? Aspen! Get over here. Over here. And Aspen's too doggy ADHD for too long without Denali being down here. If D was here, they could just run around and wrestle and act stupid. Millie wants to chase rocks and stomp gold out of the sluice. Aspen wants to explore and play. Yeah, it was there, Millie. Look, it was, yep. Yeah. You trying to eat the gold now? You're supposed to point it out. Come on, more chunkers. Gotta be more than one, right? Well, at least we got it on video. Yeah. Mildred. Puppy, puppy. Get back. Jack. Here, Melly. There. We chase a rock down the creek. Hey, maybe she thinks I'm chucking gold. Oh, these two. Alright, I'm going to get my phone out of my hand before it gets knocked out of my hand. It is indeed not waterproof. So, we'll be back. I'll walk around in the sleep. Alright, as you've seen, that thing just flat disappeared. Went shooting down there. But we got it. What I'm going to do with those clips, or try to, is speed them up a little bit and put some music on them. Hopefully that worked out. I was sort of cupping my hand over the microphone part of my phone, which I do a lot on accident anyway. But we'll see how that worked out. But we panned through most of it, 3/4 I would say. Right here is the minus kitchen strainer still out of that last few scoops that we did. So let us see what it was holding. Not a whole lot of gold. I mean, just not a whole lot of gold. But I mean, well, I guess we ran quite a bit of material. But a lot of that material that we ran is probably flood gold that's washed in there in the flood. But either way, we found gold. Not a lot of fine gold. I want a few specks and some micro gold. You see those a lot of on the video when I zoom in. Especially I've got the light on. It's sort of cloudy out here. You see a lot of the silver specks that are glowing in the video. Is that little micro gold. Gold dust, as they say, literally. Yeah, hopefully the speeding along works. You know, I talk about Tractor Guy all the time. I mean, they're good neighbors. I mean, they help you with anything. He's helped me out with stuff before. I've let him deer hunt over the hill before. Good people. And I commend them for always being outside with their kids. We need a hell of a lot more of that these days, for sure. And Lucy, their dog, I love Lucy. Big, thick, I'm square-headed, wide-chested pitty. She wandered out of their yard one time, and I met her out here at the end of the driveway. She came running. I'd petted her through the fence a few times. But she came running to me and, like, hip-checked me all happy, jumped up against me. So walked her on up there to the house, but they're a good neighbor. It's just, they're out doing stuff while I'm out trying to do stuff. And a lot of times I just don't work trying to do videos, which is my problem, not theirs. I should build that studio inside the big ass shed. It's all finished inside. Plug-ins everywhere, lights. It's got cedar damn walls. I've been going to make a studio out there since we lived here. Air conditioned, heated. Maybe one of these days we'll do that. Medicine seems to be working. I ain't been coughing as much. Like we got another speck popping through, a little flake maybe, or maybe not. If we did, I think I chucked it down the pan. I don't know what that is. Chunk of quartz maybe, chunk of diamond maybe. I think we had a piece that we pretty sure there was a piece floating too. I don't know, might not have been. See, like, we're just not scoring big on the small roll. That, or I'm just messing with my crappy pan in here, which is quite possible too. I haven't set the blue bowl up this year. Haven't really ran enough to have cons to run in the blue bowl. That day when we ran over there at Memorial Day, I sent stuff home with Richard. So I think it was, I don't remember. It was about a 1/10½, which is pretty good for, I figured a couple hours, and Richard said he figured more like 1.5 hours. We went through all, I mean, hadn't had the dredge running at all. Took a while to set up, search around for stuff. I think I flooded the pump, messing with it. We don't ever mess with it. We just turn it on and pull it and it starts up. But I think I flipped around on the fuel and the choke by accident. But anyway, took a while to get it going. By our own fault, my own fault probably. But we did good. I mean, Richard flipped that big piece of bedrock that is held 3 by 2 foot, 2.5. That was sitting, is a piece that had slid down from up the creek somewhere. But it was sitting on bedrock basically with some material in between, and he said there's a big crack in there, big hole underneath it. So we need to run that crack out, follow it across the creek, see where it goes and see what's in it once the water goes down. But we did good. Like I said, I was digging some good material too, so I'm sure I contributed with the high banking. So, but we had a good day. That would have been a good 5-6 hour day probably. Of course, like I say, we might just hit a few pockets, because I got some good clay pockets that day too. So, you never know. But we had a good day. But, circling back to the blue bowl, like I said, Richard took that stuff home and ran it. So, Indiana chunks are there. And 2 of them. Well, there's one there to the right. Well, there's several specks right there, I guess. I probably just blew them all down the pan again. Yeah, pretty much. There's a speck or 2 that's sitting there. 3, 4 that you can see. Actually big enough to look like gold. Yeah, we'll catch and release them. This stuff will get dried out and go into pay dirt probably. Let's classify the rest of that stuff down, and we'll finish this up. Alright, we rinsed out the bucket fairly good. Obviously spilled a little bit here. And down there where we were at, when we go crevicing down there, we usually don't have like I said, we'll be getting up, a pan full of material and running it. And it ain't like we got pans full of gold every time. It's usually like one nice speck at a time, you know, type deal. Sometimes none, sometimes micro gold, but it's there. Another big chunk of iron. We're definitely digging in a good spot. Like I said, I found that hole underneath the shell layer. That was on bedrock. We cleaned it out decent. Well, I mean, that shell exposed down there, I mean, we run into clay all the time. We run into clay layers a lot before we ever hit bedrock. And that clay is just turned hard over the years and turns into this stuff right here, this shell. See if you can still sort of mash it up. Definitely holds gold for sure, for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and run this down. Like I said, I apologize for the low energy video here. Like I said, I'm not 100% for sure. I'm being sick all week. But I'll run this big stuff down. We'll take a peek. We seen another chunker in the top of the sluice that second run, but I don't know, it will probably fit through the kitchen strainer, so I don't know. But I'll run this down. We'll have a peek at the gold I get into at the end, and then we'll run the rest of that little stuff. All right, we ran the last of the big stuff. Chunker. Obviously got stuck classifying, because that should have fit through the kitchen strainer. Alright, we're down to the last of the little stuff here. We'll run this one pan down on video. And then we will move on. Like I said, I'm probably not much fun to talk to today. Like I said, I apologize. I've been wanting to get to this. I've spent a few days pretty much in bed. I get up every now and then, eat, take some more medicine, fix Jackson lunch, let dogs out, type stuff. So as the day goes on, it's later in the afternoon now, probably 4 o'clock-ish, 4:30. I have slowly wound down myself. But grandson's birthday party is tomorrow, so relax the rest of the evening. Go to that. Might do some fishing while we're down that way. Down by home, Park County. You know, I've been getting a lot of questions, or a lot of comments, I should, and which there are questions on my videos. You know, say gold prospecting in Indiana, look for gold in Indiana, what have you. Indiana Boys Prospecting Club, Prospecting with Indiana Boys, seeing the channel that says Indiana Creek Gold, which could be deceiving. Indiana Creek could be anywhere, I guess. I don't know if there is an Indiana Creek per se, but there might be. But they asked what part of Indiana I'm in, because everybody, I'm sure, assumes that we're in southern Indiana. I am indeed not in southern Indiana. I'm like hours away from southern Indiana. So Bam! Are you there? That's probably a little chunker we've seen in the sluice. Oh, there's another piece poking through there. Hey, let me two-hand this and let's get serious about it for a minute. That's a little better. A few specks, small little bitty flakes, and a little chunky piece. So, there's what, 3, 5, 7, 8. Decent little specks in there. Micro up there in the corner. Spread around. But yeah, that's pretty decent. Not bad, not bad. Alright, we got the Falcon broke out here. We'll see how it does. Looks like there's a lot of heavies in this last part. And this is probably too much material for that. I'd like the sort of the safety of those riffles. I guess we'd run the stuff down and then throw it in here, I guess, and finish instead of just panning. Maybe it's probably what it's for, huh? Oh well. We'll be alright. We'll rely on gravity physics and my amazing panning skills. The gravity and physics ought to help us out anyway. I think I'm probably maybe tilting that pan a little too much, actually. Work in progress, obviously. Oh, my neck's killing me from looking down. My back's killing me from laying in bed for freaking days. We have about reached the end though. Almost freaking there. See, every time we shake it, work more blonde sands up through those garnet sands and black sands. Alright, we're going to try to do the one-handed tap here on this. I don't know how that's going to work with this pan. Guess we're about to find out. I got a little too much water in there. Biggest mistake you beginning panners can make, or one of, when I make a lot, is too much water in your pan because you can't really control it. Once the momentum and weight of that water hits that stuff, y'all. Not that, I mean, I'm not trying to be a hypocrite here because y'all watch me blow crap out all the time. I'm just telling you, it happens and I do a lot. A few little specks. But I know what causes it. But yeah, I still do it. More popping through there. Was till it went down the pan. Gold, gold. I've seen about a half dozen pieces, and there's like 4 of them. You can't really see them in this blue pan. That's horrible. I can't hardly see them at all with my eye, but I see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 specks. I can see a couple of them. Yeah, color's horrible for seeing gold, for fine gold. That's for damn sure. Alright, it is time to bring this adventure to an end. here's our cleanup from, I don't know, it's probably a couple buckets of material. I was talking to little brother Vendetta, and that thing is so flat that probably, and he agreed that probably came between those shell layers that we broke up and cleaned off. But there it is. Trying to get the right light. Some specks there. There might be a little bit more stuck in the snuffer bottle. That one's got a little bit of character. I said, and I find pieces of rhyolite that we crushed up, and I found some neat little pieces of gold. And I'm thinking some of those pieces that we get are funky like that might have come down from, you know, Canada in that rhyolite, and it's broke up and shed the gold along the way. But not bad at all. That piece probably moved the scales, maybe. But it is not going to focus. It is super thin. So, but we'll take it. It made a little sound. But all in all, not bad. I spent all day and find a half dozen of those. It would make up for it. I said, all in all, we've definitely had worse days after running more material down there for sure. Been texting GP. I think him and Mama Bird's going to come up here at the end of the month, do a little gold chasing, maybe a little fishing while they're up here. Little brother, old Vendetta, said something about coming up late summer. So I think it's about the time he came last time. Water's usually down good then. We can get the bedrock, do some crevicing, and get the honey hole good up the road. So looking forward to some good times. Video to come. Thanks for following along. Like I said, sorry for the low-key video. Like I said, I have not been feeling great. Might have been better off to wait to make it. But I was looking forward to seeing what was in there. We did get this stuff out of there too. Iron, nice little piece of quartz, which you've seen several of them. Some lead shot, 22 bullet. So we was definitely where we needed to be. There's a little gold spread down there, that fine gold around. But there it is. There's our cleanup. Like I said, I appreciate you. This video is probably drug out a while, so I'm gonna try to fast forward them one section. We'll see how that worked. So, but anyway, we'll be back soon. I appreciate y'all, and take care.